There's a fascinating discovery. Researchers are buzzing about the hour you wake up might influence how well your brain ages. Surprised? Let's explore why this matters more than ever after 80. You see, as we grow older, we often notice little shifts in how our mind feels in the morning. Maybe you've had mornings where your thoughts feel slower, or names take longer to recall. That can be unsettling, and it's easy to assume it's just a normal part of getting older. But here's something exciting researchers have been looking closely at: how our internal body clock, what scientists call our circadian rhythm, changes with age, and they've uncovered patterns that directly affect memory, focus, and even mood. In this video, we're going to explore how your wake-up time might be one of the most powerful yet overlooked habits for protecting your brain. We'll talk about what science says is the best time to start your day, what happens in your brain while you sleep and wake, and how just a simple shift could bring more clarity and energy to your mornings. And I'll share one surprising tip later that many seniors have called life-changing, so stay with me. Imagine this: your brain has its own schedule, like a gentle rhythm guiding when you're most alert and when you need rest. In our younger years, that rhythm is quite strong, but after 60 and especially beyond 80, it begins to drift. A study from the University of California looked at older adults' sleep patterns and found that irregular wake times were linked to more rapid memory decline. They noticed that those who kept a consistent wake-up time, often between 6:30 and 7:30 in the morning, showed better cognitive performance over a 2-year period compared to those with erratic mornings. That's powerful, isn't it? It means something as simple as setting a gentle alarm and rising at the same time each day might help keep your brain cells healthier. Now, you might be thinking, why does the hour matter so much? Let me explain it simply. While you sleep, your brain is doing deep maintenance work, clearing out waste proteins, repairing connections, and preparing you to learn and remember. This cleaning crew, so to speak, operates best on a regular schedule. If you wake up too early before those processes finish, you might feel groggy or unfocused, and over time, your brain doesn't get the full benefit of that nightly repair. On the other hand, waking too late can throw off your internal clock and reduce exposure to morning light, which studies show helps regulate hormones like cortisol and melatonin that are tied to clear thinking and steady energy. I once spoke with a gentleman named Richard, 84 years old, who spent years waking up at 5 a.m. because that's what he did during his working life. He confessed that he often felt exhausted by mid-morning and blamed it on aging. But after hearing about new research, he shifted his wake-up time to 6:45 and made sure to step outside for some early sunlight. Within weeks, he told me he felt sharper, even recalling names from decades ago with ease. He said, "I didn't think such a small change could wake up my mind like that." Stories like Richard's are why this information is so exciting to share. And here's something else to consider. Experts at Harvard Medical School emphasize that morning routines are critical for older adults because they set the tone for the entire day's brain function. If your first hours are spent in a state of fatigue or confusion, your brain can stay in that foggy mode for hours. But when you rise at the right time for your body's rhythm, you give yourself a head start, your blood flow improves, oxygen reaches your brain more efficiently, and you feel more engaged. That's not just about memory, it's about joy, conversation, and independence. As you listen, I want you to reflect on your own mornings. When do you usually wake up? Do you notice a difference in how you feel on days when you wake earlier or later? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear your experiences. And starting tomorrow, try paying attention to how your mind feels within the first hour of waking. There's no pressure to change anything just yet. Simply noticing is a powerful first step. In a moment, we'll dive deeper into how the brain's nightly repair cycle works and why certain hours of the morning unlock more mental clarity than others. And remember that powerful tip I mentioned earlier. It's something so simple, yet backed by strong research, and it could transform the way you start every single day. Let's keep going. Now let's look a little closer at what's happening in your brain during those precious hours before you wake. While you're sleeping, your brain is cycling through different stages: light sleep, deep, slow wave sleep, and rapid eye movement sleep, or REM. Deep sleep, which often happens in the first half of the night, is when your brain clears away toxic proteins that build up during the day. One of these proteins, called beta amyloid, is linked to memory problems and even Alzheimer's when it lingers too long. Researchers at the National Institute on Aging found that older adults who got enough deep sleep consistently were 40% less likely to show early signs of cognitive decline. That's a striking number, and it all depends on giving your brain the full chance to complete that cleanup process. But here's the thing, after 80 deep sleep naturally becomes lighter and shorter. It's not your fault. It's simply how aging changes our sleep architecture. So the time you wake up becomes even more critical. If you're cutting your sleep short by rising before your body has completed its final REM cycle, you're interrupting not just rest, but also the emotional and memory processing that REM provides. This is why so many seniors report feeling scattered or unusually emotional on mornings after an early wake-up. It isn't just in your head, it's in your brain's chemistry. A neurologist I once interviewed explained it in a way that stuck with me. She said, think of your brain like a beautiful garden. Each night, gardeners come out to prune water and clear weeds. If you wake up too early, those gardeners have to drop their tools and leave the job unfinished. Over time, that neglected garden becomes overgrown. Isn't that a powerful image? And the wonderful news is you can help those gardeners do their job by honoring your body's natural timing. Let me share another real example. Maria, who is 82, spent years getting up at dawn because she thought she had to be productive early to stay healthy. But she often felt forgetful and sluggish by lunchtime. After a checkup, her doctor suggested she try setting her alarm for 7 a.m. instead of 5:30. At first, she was skeptical. She said, I've been waking at the crack of dawn for decades. But after 2 weeks, she noticed a surprising change, clearer recall of her morning readings, and more energy for her afternoon walks. Her doctor explained that the extra 90 minutes of uninterrupted sleep allowed her brain to complete that last vital phase of REM, which is essential for learning and mood stability. It's also important to mention the role of morning light. Sunlight in those first hours after waking helps reset your circadian rhythm for the day. Studies from Stanford have shown that exposure to natural morning light within an hour of waking improves alertness and even reduces the risk of depression in older adults. So when you align your wake-up time with those early light hours, say between 6:30 and 7:30, you're not only finishing your brain's night work, you're also telling your internal clock it's time to be awake, focused, and alive. I know it's not always easy. Maybe you've had years of early rising habits, or perhaps you struggle to sleep through the night. That's why this isn't about perfection. It's about gentle adjustments. If you're used to waking at 5 a.m., try extending your rest by just 15 minutes every few days. Give your body time to adapt. The goal is not just more sleep, but better timed sleep that supports the intricate dance your brain performs every night. And here's something fascinating to think about as you consider your own routine. When researchers followed a group of people over 80 in a longevity study, they noticed that those who lived independently and maintained sharp mental function well into their 90s often shared one simple habit: they woke consistently within the same 1-hour window each day. That consistency seemed to anchor their sleep quality, mood, and even their appetite for learning new things. Isn't it inspiring to think that you can nurture that same habit starting tomorrow? Take a moment right now and imagine how your mornings could feel if you woke up refreshed without that foggy feeling, ready to enjoy conversations, hobbies, and simple joys with a clear mind. That's not just wishful thinking. It's something research suggests is very possible with a bit of awareness and care. If any part of this resonates with you, I'd love to hear your thoughts. Have you ever noticed feeling sharper after a later wake-up? Or maybe you've already experimented with adjusting your mornings. Share your story in the comments. Your experience might inspire someone else watching this. In a moment, we'll look at how to set up your evenings and early mornings to make this new rhythm easier, plus that simple tip I promised earlier. Something small you can do right after waking that can supercharge your brain's clarity for the rest of the day. Let's keep going. To make this rhythm easier for your brain to follow, it actually starts the night before. The way you prepare for sleep can make waking up at the right time feel natural instead of forced. Think about your evenings. Do you often find yourself dozing off in front of the television and then struggling to stay asleep later? Our bodies, especially as we age, respond so well to gentle signals that it's time to rest. Dimming the lights about an hour before bed, turning off bright screens, and enjoying something calming like a soft piece of music or a light book can help trigger the release of melatonin, the hormone that guides us into restful sleep. Researchers at Johns Hopkins found that older adults who practiced these simple evening habits not only fell asleep faster, but also spent more time in those deep, restorative stages of sleep. Now, once you've set up your night for success, let's talk about what happens in those first moments after waking. Remember that powerful tip I mentioned earlier? Here it is, and it's so simple, you might smile when you hear it. As soon as you wake up within your chosen window, ideally between 6:30 and 7:30, step outside or open a curtain to natural daylight within the first 30 minutes. A study published in the journal Sleep Health found that seniors who got at least 10 minutes of morning light exposure reported better focus and memory recall during the day. The sunlight acts like a reset button for your circadian rhythm, reinforcing your brain's timing signals so that your sleep the next night becomes deeper and more effective. It's a beautiful cycle. The right wake-up time leads to better sleep, and better sleep makes waking at the right time easier. Let me share a story that might inspire you. A retired teacher named Elaine told me she struggled for years with feeling groggy every morning. She assumed that was just part of being in her 80s. When she learned about the importance of morning light, she started a simple routine waking at 7 a.m., putting on a cozy sweater and sitting on her porch with a cup of tea as the sun rose. Within a few weeks, she noticed she could remember phone numbers again without checking her notes. She said, "I feel like someone polished my brain." That's the kind of shift that's possible when you give your body and mind the cues they need. And here's something else to keep in mind. Consistency is your greatest ally. Your brain thrives on patterns. When you wake at roughly the same time every day, you strengthen the rhythm of your internal clock. That rhythm doesn't just affect your sleep. It influences when your body releases hormones that control digestion, energy, and even healing. In a long-term study from the University of Toronto, seniors with regular sleep and wake schedules had 25% better scores on attention tests compared to those with irregular patterns. That translates into feeling more engaged in conversations, enjoying hobbies with more focus, and staying independent in daily tasks longer. I know some mornings are harder than others, especially if aches, worries, or changing sleep patterns get in the way. Be gentle with yourself. This is not about perfection. It's about giving yourself the gift of small, consistent choices. Each morning you align with your natural rhythm is like investing in a clearer, stronger mind for the future. And isn't that worth a little attention? Try this starting tomorrow. Set your alarm for a time within that healthy morning window. Make your evenings a little calmer and step into the light when you wake. Then notice over the next week how your mind feels. Do you remember details more easily? Do you feel steadier during your morning routine? These subtle changes build over time, and they can truly make your days brighter. I'd love to hear how this works for you. If you try these tips, share your experience in the comments below. Your story might be exactly what someone else needs to hear. And if you found this helpful, consider subscribing to the channel so you don't miss more insights like these. You might also share this video with a friend or family member who's looking for simple ways to feel sharper and more vibrant every day. You've taken the first step by learning about your brain's morning rhythm. Now each sunrise can become an opportunity to care for your mind and embrace the day with clarity and confidence. Let's make those mornings count together. And as you start putting these ideas into practice, something wonderful begins to happen. You stop thinking of mornings as a struggle and start seeing them as an opportunity. Every day that you rise at a time that truly serves your body, you're giving your brain the tools to stay resilient, to hold on to memories, and to keep learning. It's not about chasing perfection or trying to feel 20 again. It's about embracing the rhythm that keeps you feeling steady, capable, and ready for whatever the day may bring. Over time, many people notice little milestones that feel like victories. Maybe you remember a grandchild's birthday without checking the calendar. Maybe your morning crossword feels easier, or you find yourself chatting with friends and recalling stories more vividly. These aren't small things, they're the threads that make up a meaningful, connected life. And it's remarkable to think that something as ordinary as the hour you wake up can help strengthen those threads. One doctor I spoke with put it beautifully. He said, your wake-up time is like the conductor of an orchestra. When it's steady, every instrument, your memory, your focus, your mood falls in line. That image stays with me because it reminds us that even in our later years, we have the power to direct the rhythm of our own lives. We can choose to nurture our brains with small, thoughtful habits that build into something truly transformative. It's also worth noting that your journey might inspire those around you. When family or friends see the difference in your energy and clarity, they may ask what changed. Imagine telling them, I just started waking up a little differently, and it's made all the difference. Your experience can ripple outward, showing others that it's never too late to care for your mind in new ways. As you move forward, be patient with yourself. Some mornings will feel better than others, and that's completely normal. What matters is the gentle commitment you make to yourself each day. If you've spent years waking at odd hours, it may take time to settle into a new rhythm. But every effort is a step toward a brighter, more focused tomorrow. Before you go, I'd love to invite you to join this conversation. Let me know in the comments how your mornings feel now and what you're hoping to improve. Have you tried stepping outside into the morning light yet? Have you noticed a change in your memory or energy after adjusting your schedule? Your insights could encourage someone else who's watching and wondering if these changes really work. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe for more science-backed tips on staying healthy and vibrant in the years ahead. Share this video with a friend or a neighbor who might benefit from these simple yet powerful steps. Together, we can create a community where aging isn't something to fear, but something to embrace with wisdom, joy, and hope. Every sunrise brings a new chance to care for your mind and your future. So tomorrow morning, as you open your eyes at that new gentle hour, take a deep breath and remember you're not just waking up to a new day. You're waking up to a stronger, sharper, more vibrant you. And that is a beautiful gift to give yourself at any age.